That comes with being a good person, a kind of pain that not everyone sees. And not everyone understands. Because on the outside, you look strong, calm, and like someone who has it all together. But inside, there are moments when you feel tired, when you question everything, when you wonder why being good feels so hard. You try to be kind even when people are not kind to you. You try to understand even when no one tries to understand you. You forgive even when the apology never comes. And slowly, without even realizing it, you begin to carry more than your share. Being a good person often means you are the one who listens more than you speak. The one who gives more than you receive. The one who stays even when leaving would be easier. And that is where the sadness begins. Because not everyone sees your kindness as strength. Some see it as weakness. Something they can use. They get used to your patience. Expect your understanding. Rely on your silence. And sometimes forget that you have feelings too. You don't always speak up when you're hurt. You don't always show when you're overwhelmed. You tell yourself it's okay. But deep down, it's not always okay. There are nights when you lie awake, replaying conversations in your head, thinking about what you could have said, wishing someone would treat you the way you treat them. Being a good person doesn't mean you don't feel pain. It just means you hide it better. You smile when you're hurting, stay calm when you're breaking, and choose peace even when your heart is heavy. Over time, that becomes exhausting. There is a quiet loneliness in always being the strong one. The one people go to but rarely check on. The one who fixes everyone else but feels like no one is there to fix them. You begin to wonder if you stopped trying so hard. Would anyone notice? Would anyone stay? Deep down, all you ever wanted was to be appreciated, to be understood, to be loved without having to earn it. But instead, you often find yourself in one-sided relationships, where you give and receive just enough to keep you hoping that things will change. That one day they will see your worth. But here is the sad truth. Sometimes they won't. Not because you are not enough, but because they were never capable of giving what you deserve. And as a good person, you believe in people. You believe they can grow and change. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't, and you stay longer than you should, holding on to potential instead of reality. You make excuses for them, justify their behavior, tell yourself they didn't mean it, while quietly you go through something too. You sacrifice your peace to protect someone else's comfort. And the painful part is they may never even realize it. Being a good person often means you carry invisible scars. From times you were too forgiving, too patient, too understanding. Not because you were wrong, but because you gave your kindness to the wrong people. And yet, even after all that, you still choose to be kind. That is not weakness. That is strength. But even strength needs boundaries. Being a good person does not mean you have to accept being treated badly. Stay where you are not respected, or keep giving when you are empty. There is a difference between being kind and being taken for granted. And learning that difference can change your life. You can be a good person and still say no. You can be kind and still walk away. You can care about others without losing yourself. Because your kindness should not come at the cost of your own peace. You deserve relationships where your effort is matched, where your presence is valued, where your silence is noticed and your absence is felt. You deserve people who don't just take from you but pour into you too. People who ask if you're okay and truly listen. Being a good person should not feel like a burden. It should feel like a gift, both to others and to yourself. But that only happens when you start choosing yourself too. When you stop over-explaining your boundaries, stop apologizing for needing space, and stop chasing people who don't choose you. Instead, you begin to stand still and let the right people come to you. People who respect your kindness, appreciate your presence, and handle your heart with care. Because being a good person is not the problem. Giving your goodness to the wrong people is. Once you realize that, everything begins to change. You start to protect your energy, choose peace over approval, and understand that not everyone deserves access to you. That is not selfish. That is self-respect. You begin to realize you don't have to prove your worth to anyone. The right people will see it without you trying. You don't have to chase love. Real love stays. You don't have to beg for respect. Real respect is given. At the end of the day, the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. And you deserve to treat yourself with the same kindness, patience, and understanding that you give to everyone else. So if you're a good person, don't change who you are. The world needs more kindness, more compassion, more people like you. But also remember, you deserve kindness too. You deserve peace too. And you deserve to be loved not for what you give, but for who you are. And when you finally understand that, being a good person will no longer feel like a burden. It will feel like your power. If this message touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Deep Talks with Dean for more meaningful stories about life, wisdom, and growth.